Jason Jones.
The professor.
Need to change that place card right there. Jason Jones of The Athletic. I know the Jonas here. He is affectionately known now as Mr. WrestleMania. Jason Jones, as the articles have started to drop, the countdown to WrestleMania is on. What's your give me, since I'm just living vicariously through you, what's the itinerary for the coming days as we head into WrestleMania weekend?
Let me see. I was just actually running late. I was working on my Bianca Belair story. That drops.
Get some time with her?
Yeah, on the phone, but yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, and she'll be at media. Yeah. Time not wasted. She'll be at the media junket this week, so I get to actually see her in person. But get down there. They got media Thursday morning. We got Wale Mania Thursday night.
Oh, you going to Wale Mania? Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to Wale Mania. Yeah. Maybe I said it was up to Swerve in person. Friday we got more media. Got SmackDown. Got the Hall of Fame.
You doing all of this?
Yeah, I'm doing everything.
Wow.
Then obviously you got I don't know if I'm doing NXT. I think we're down to be at NXT on Saturday morning, and then also you got 2 days of Mania. So yeah, I am going to be happily
WrestleMania. Yeah.
I'll have to get a picture pointing at the sign at some point. I don't know what angle I'm gonna get to, but I'm gonna have to.
You got to do it Ronda Rousey style.
With like an angry,
yeah,
there it is,
and then just go back to smiling when it's over.
Yeah, so I'm all WrestleMania. Yeah, like I said, the Swerve story came out today, and crazy is I talked to Swerve for almost an hour. So much stuff didn't even make it to the story. I'm going to do like a wrestling pod and just get all that Swerve. We talked about so many different things. He made me feel old when he's like, "Yeah, my dad listened to Tupac." I was like, "Your dad?" And then he's talking about, I had no business listening to Cameron. I was like, I was in college when that came. He's like, I had no business listening to that. And he's like, yeah, man, in my house, my mom and my dad listening to Carl Thomas and Mary J. Blige. I'm like, oh Lord, I'm an old man now. These guys are talking about like the music of my childhood, the way I talked about like the Delphonics.
They're talking about the music of your damn near adulthood. Like we were,
and
we were like 21 years old when this stuff was out.
Yeah. He's like, yeah, my dad was always playing Tupac. I'm like, your dad? Kind of reminds me of when I told De'Aaron I played Mario Kart in college. He's like, wow, really? Because he's playing it as a rookie before a game. I'm like, yeah, that was the game we played like in 96, 97. He looked at me like, geez. He's like, maybe my dad can relate to that. I'm like, probably, yeah.
You mentioned Cameron, sports journalist.
Yeah.
Oh man, that show is so wild.
Him and Mason Betha.
That is so wild. I love it. I mean, it's so I love it. The whole, you owe me $1 if Ben Simmons can't average 10 points.
Oh man.
I mean, if a lot of folks don't realize it, Cameron was like a real hooper. He ain't just some guy, the whole
was too. They played together.
Yeah. Because I know Cameron was in the in NYC Point Guard doc. Yeah, because
he always shows that has that screenshot of him playing like in the city championship at the Garden when he was in high school. Cameron Giles at the free throw line.
And that's another moment when I realized I was getting old, when I was watching college football and there was a Cameron, not Cameron, a Cam apostrophe Ron playing.
Oh my God.
They had Cameron and Raekwon. I was like, oh God.
Oh man.
I said, we got Cameron. I said, there was not a Mace playing. There might have been Mason, but there was not a Mace. But I'm like, man, I'm officially an old man, as my kids or my kids tell me, you're not that old.
You're not that old. You're still young and vibrant. Real quick before we go into basketball, I want to ask you one more thing about Mania. I mean, just got to tap in with you. I mean, how you think all this plays out?
Oh man, this is a tough one because I think the bloodline loses. Somebody's losing from the bloodline. I think it's going to be the tag team titles. I think the Sami Zayn momentum is a lot like Kofi Mania was, same way with Daniel Bryan, to where they might tear SoFi down if somehow Sammy doesn't leave there with a belt. I'm kind of torn on I think Bianca keeps her belt. I actually think Rhea might actually let
Rhea's got to get this back.
I
Like
actually think Charlotte might actually lose. I don't know how they're going to do it. I think
Charlotte has to lose just so she can pass 16. That's the whole point of her winning and losing these titles over and over again, is so she can get past 16.
Yeah, and I think the Cody. I mean, I could see Cody not winning and this thing going on the SummerSlam.
Yeah, that's what I'm starting to lean towards, especially if you take the belts off the Usos. You just the whole bloodline's getting their ass kicked in LA, huh? I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah, and I think too the fact that Cody got hurt really kind of stopped up we lost all that buildup. And I think for the plan to eventually put the belt on Cody, you want to have all that buildup. And I think the perfect way to build it up to SummerSlam is to be like, you know what? He got so close at Mania, but Jimmy and Jay, to save their names in the family, made sure that Roman kept his belt because they lost their belt. There's going to be, I think the tag team belts get dropped, but I think somehow they, unless Roman decides he needs 3 months off,
Yeah.
Well, look, we saw that.
Going to go film Fast and Furious 11.
Right. We might be a lead in the movie. After we were watching the little WrestleMania,
the Goodfellas. Did you see the Goodfellas?
Oh, they're having fun. Yeah, they're
Roman ready for a movie. I think, man. Roman could get on the big screen, man. He really could.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean that. He's had some real funny moments on the microphone. Which led to some funny tweets by me that got me retweeted 1 million times. But hey, his take on the, I don't know. Oh, this is daytime radio. I won't say that one. But
well, can't be anything worse than we've said.
I mean, the whole point about doing the missionary over and over again.
Well, yeah, I remember that one. That was a hell of a line for WWE.
On Fox at that. On a Friday, I was like, whoa. And then my son turns to me and goes, what does that mean?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'll explain it to you later. Let's just finish watching this show, son.
Well, at least your nephew didn't look at you and go, hey, what does scissor me daddy mean? At least that didn't happen to you. At least that didn't happen when he looked to his dad and said, hey, Dad, what's this mean? And he's, I don't know. And then he looked straight at me. Uncle D'Lo, what does that mean?
See, Jason handled it just like the dad would. He asked, I don't know, son. And keep it moving. I don't know.
Dad, why is that funny? I use scissors at school. I don't get it.
That was a wild moment.
Oh, that was something. That was something indeed.
We've gone off the rails. See, I'm sorry.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. By the way, you mentioned a name that we didn't bring up today, and that's me. Ben Simmons was shut down.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to start weighing the possibility like this. I know everybody has their Ben Simmons jokes and their Ben Simmons opinions. I mean, there's got to be some reality to this brother not playing basketball anymore.
Yeah, I mean, even going back to when he was in college, I was hearing stories about essentially he was the guy who was really talented, but if he wasn't 6'10", he wouldn't be playing basketball.
Yeah,
he's just kind of one of those guys that
he was good at it, so he did it.
Yeah, and it's just crazy that he made 2 All-Star games. 1 year, I think at one point you could argue he was the best perimeter defender in the game, or at least the most versatile defender you could. I mean, at one point, then now to watch it now, it'd be like, man, what was that one gift someone sent me on Twitter? Like he made 2 free throws and did the Jordan shrug.
Come on, man.
He was like 2 free throws, baby. I was just like, man. Mace making $1 off of him not averaging 10 points.
Oh man.
I mean, he's not with Clutch anymore for whatever reason. Who knows what's going on with Ben at this point. But yeah, this is just when that whole Brooklyn Nets thing was falling apart, I was like, man, they're gonna, after all the stuff they went through and all these guys they signed and traded for, they're gonna end up stuck with all they got left is Ben.
Mm-hmm.
And they still came out pretty good.
Yeah.
After it's all said and done,
Yeah.
With some of the guys they got. Yeah, that's interesting with Ben Simmons. The summer of Ben Simmons, I'll never forget. We talk about him every day.
That man had his own summer.
He had the summer of Ben Simmons, but I didn't anticipate him ending up like this.
Yeah.
And I hope he does play again. I hope it works out, but it's looking bleak, and I ain't talking Memphis.
Yeah, I hope whatever he's dealing with or working through, because I think a lot of people kind of laughed at the whole idea that his mental health was an issue in Philly.
Mm-hmm.
But there really could, we don't know. We really don't know. Yeah. And I just hope whatever he's dealing with, because if it's physical, I think there's clearly some physical things wrong. And I think what we tend to forget is that, and like all seriousness, is that in basketball, especially, a back injury is major. A lot of guys are never the same. Like, Dwight Howard was never Dwight Howard after he hurt his back.
Yeah.
He can still get double-doubles, but people forget, look at Dwight Howard up until like 2011, what he was doing before his back got hurt. Yeah. A back, and Ben's 6'10", if he's 6'10" with a bad back, that's a major thing. And we've seen guys' careers end over this.
Yeah.
Where you get a bad, like I said, watching, young Dwight Howard was a monster. And I think even like when the whole NBA top 75 came out, people were laughing at the idea that Dwight Howard was snubbed. I'm like, look at that run he had where he won 3-4 Defensive Player of the Year, got Orlando to the final. People forget his team was the one who sent LeBron home and prevented the Kobe and LeBron puppets from meeting in the final.
Yeah, absolutely.
God knows how much that cost Nike that year.
Damn, the go-to finals was about to be crazy with those two in it.
Yeah, everybody was ready for it, and then Dwight was like, "Nope."
Yeah. Real quick before we get into the Kings, something about the Kings last night that I didn't talk to Damian about since I mentioned it to him. It was confirmed there was a bat flying through Golden One Center last night.
The bats are back.
Kenny was like, "Oh, there's a bat," and I kind of I heard and I looked at Leo. I was like, "Did he say there's a bat in here?"
There's normally didn't the bats last appear in San Antonio?
Yeah, Ginobili smacked it down.
I think I was at one of the bat games because there was more than one in San Antonio. I was at one of them. I wasn't at the one where Ginobili smacked it. I don't think though.
There's the parking garage in Old Sac, I learned over the summer, gets filled with bats. Yeah. I will never park there again. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Until I got out there, I was like, man, all these birds are crazy. And I end up getting on the wrong floor. And I got off the elevator. It was almost like the Sports Center commercial. Elevator open. I saw all these bats on that floor. I said, I'll go on another floor. I don't know if I'm getting my car today, to be honest with you. Not doing
good. That's good. That's good intel. I'll never. Yeah. Oh God, I would. Oh man.
Yeah. Bad problem.
I never saw the bat, so I guess there was a bat. I guess a bat wanted to be a part of history.
And that left disappointed.
And the bat left as disappointed as everybody else did. I'll ask you this, Jay. Kenny's brought this up a couple of times. Did it feel like the Kings felt that moment a little bit last night?
I say more so that Minnesota's just a bad matchup for them. I don't think it's more of the moment. Because it's not like if they didn't win last night, they weren't going to make the playoffs.
Yeah, right.
I get they could clinch tonight while watching on TV. So, it's not like it was a do or die. If we don't win tonight, we're not, I don't think it was. I just think Minnesota's a bad matchup for them. And I just think I put it more on that. I'm not going to say they were nervous or, they were afraid of the moment or anything like that. No, I just think, if that game was against Portland last night, they clinch. Especially if Portland's shutting down. You played a team that probably needed that win more than you too. So I mean, there's also that too. Minnesota is hungry. They're trying to get to 6. They don't want to be in the play-in. So they might have had a little extra oomph, but even with that, that's just not the best matchup for the Kings overall, and they haven't been this year, even without Cat. So I put it more to that. I'm not gonna jump to the morning television show debate. The Kings are afraid, like like they're gonna lose like 10 in a row because they're afraid to make the playoffs.
No, I don't even think it's more of afraid. Like when I brought it up, it was more just wanting to get it done. This was a 1 of 1 to get it done the way it would happen last night. Like they're not, like you said, they could clinch tonight. They're on the road for the rest of the week. They're probably going to clinch Wednesday. Like this was a 1 of 1 to get it done in front of the home crowd, have this big celebration at the Golden One Center. In a way, it's not about being afraid. It's you really want it to happen tonight. Like you were pressed to really want to get it done. I thought they were sped up a little bit. They were a little out of their comfort zone last night because it's like anything. Like to finally get it done, it's like a closeout game almost. Like that's one of the hardest games because you want to get it done so bad, and the other team in this particular case, Timberwolves, fighting for their playoff lives. It's just one of those things, man. They missed a lot of open shots. They would have made them. We could have said the crowd would have propelled them to the win. It's one of those things. But
I give more credit to Minnesota. I just think that's just not a great matchup for them. And
is it the length?
Yeah, I think I know. I talked to other coaches. If you're going to beat the Kings or give them problems, if you've got a lot of you got length, if you got some big physical type guys, that's who's going to give them problems. I know me and Kenny go back and forth about the effectiveness of Rudy Gobert, but I think Rudy is a problem for them because Sabonis is not he's not, when you're playing them, he's not going to go camp out in the corner like a Terrence Mann did in the playoffs and just dare him to come out there. That would be the Kings going against what they do best by all of a sudden telling Sabonis, you go play 30 feet from the basket to get Rudy out the paint. So I just think it's a match. I think it's just the size, whatever. Naz Reid becomes like Charles Barkley.
Naz Reid.
Random nights. I mean, when Ant-Man is, that dude sometime. And he wasn't even like, a superstar last night. It wasn't like he went for 40. But they just have some pieces, I think, that just, can give the Kings some problems.
Is that the most difficult matchup? Like, what do you think is the most difficult first round matchup? Right now, it is Minnesota. Of course, that's probably going to change 6 or 7 times before the end of the regular season. But right now,
change tonight. I don't know.
Yeah, right. Exactly. It very well could. Minnesota slotted at 6 right now, though. Are they the most difficult potential matchup for them?
I think if you're the Kings, you want to avoid teams who have a lot of size up front. So I think that would be Minnesota. That would be you don't want the Lakers in that spot. I think you'd much rather see someone like a Dallas who doesn't care about a Dallas. To me, even and I know it sounds crazy, but it could happen depending on how the worst go. You'd rather see the Clippers who will downsize and you've had success against and will play with you, and you might get the Clippers without Paul George, or a Paul George coming back from an injury. I don't think you want to see a team that has a good 7, an Anthony Davis, a Gobert, or a Cat, because you'll see both of those guys. If you play Minnesota, you'll see Towns and Gobert. Could it be funky out there, especially because they also got to have Cat defend, like say Keegan Murray, maybe. Is that gonna be a problem? Yeah. But on the other end, if they sit Gobert, Cat is still, for maybe his issues on defense, as people might point out, that man still can get you 20 and 15, 25, 30 and 15. So I just think if they could somehow even get like an OKC, which doesn't have a lot of size. Yeah, Shea's great, but that's not a big team. You don't look at their front court and go, oh my God, they're going to try to push us around. So
Yeah.
I just think of the whatever 5 teams below them. I think Minnesota and the Lakers would be the 2 teams. If they could choose, they would want to avoid them. I mean, I know no one wants to see Steph, but Warriors don't, that's not the Warrior team from last year.
Yeah, it's not the Warriors, it's Steph.
Yeah.
You give us the Warriors, I just don't want to see Steph.
Like if it could be the Warriors and it's like, yeah, and Steph decides he wants to go on vacation early, fine.
Yeah, go do that.
Yeah, but I also think the Warriors would play their style, which would help. I just think that's not a team that's going to, Kevon Looney that's not Gobert.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the 2 teams they would want to avoid, just in terms of a matchup, not because they're afraid of them per se, but matchup wise, would be the Lakers and Minnesota.
I'd throw Phoenix in there too.
Oh, I forget. I guess because I keep thinking Phoenix is not going to go below 5, but who knows?
Yeah.
I just don't
think they are either.
Yeah, I don't see Phoenix. Well, who knows? I mean, I've seen weirder things, and then here's the other thing for the Kings. What about this? What if you get really close to, you're right there with Minnesota? I mean, not Minnesota, Memphis, and you look down and say you got 2 games to go, and 6 is pretty much, 6 is a more favorable matchup than the potential 7 matchup. Do you do what teams do back in the day and say, you know what? Hey, De'Aaron. Hey, Sabonis, we're going to rest that hand for this last couple of games because we'd rather stay at 3 and play the Warriors and then risk getting the winner of a, say, Lakers, Minnesota play-in. I mean, there's going to be some things to think about as you get down the stretch. I'm not saying it is, but, man, these, 2 weeks ago, the Lakers were like 13th, and then all of a sudden they were in 8th one day. So, I mean, I don't know how this thing is going to go. I mean, at one point, I thought Phoenix would catch the Kings. Now Phoenix is like, every time I see Monty Williams, he's asking for more free throws. So, like every game, Monty's just like, here are the free throw numbers, I'm done. So, I mean, I don't know what's going to happen. I mean, Ja's back, but who knows, Memphis may want to avoid a city with a nice nightlife,
Well,
they might be like, oh Lord, we can't draw an LA team. We're done. We may not see half our team at practice in the morning.
Taylor's going to be flying his team back and forth from Memphis to LA.
He's going to be like, no, after practice, taking the bus like to
Fresno. I'm going to go stay in Fresno.
We got a 3-hour bus ride in for practice. Like, where are you guys going? We're going to what? Kern County? Why? No, we're not taking our chances in LA County, Inland Empire. No, we're going to get these guys. We're getting them out of here.
Kings aren't catching Memphis either. I don't think that's happening.
I think the Kings are locked in that.
That's 3. Yeah, they got 3.
I mean, they're literally it's just home court. I was about to say they're literally like a game away from clinching that too, but that's just home court, right? It's not the 3 seed.
I think it's the 3 seed, isn't it? Yeah, because they have the tiebreaker on LA too. So I think if Phoenix had lost last night and the Kings had won, that would have served a dual purpose. It would have clinched the playoff spot, but I think it would have solidified the 3 spot.
Isn't this way more fun than trying to figure out what guy they're going to draft?
Absolutely. And that's what I always try to remember, Jason, is like, I wanted them to clinch last night. Yeah, I want this thing to be done as soon as possible, but damn, these
are first world basketball problems. These are like first world basketball problems. Oh, damn, we got to clinch on Wednesday instead of Tuesday. It's like, okay, these are the problems that you want to have. Usually this time of year, I'm like, I would have been trying to book my flight for the combine where everyone knew my name. It was like Cheers when I showed up at the combine. They're like, here's some new writers. They haven't been here before. He knows where everything is. He's here every year.
The ropes.
Yeah, it's like,
yay!
Yeah, it's like, I'm like, hey, but now I walk in, hey, oh yeah, you know where to go. I'm like, thank you.
Didn't you say it can't go any further than Wednesday?
What was it?
It was the Suns and Timberwolves on Wednesday.
Yeah, like it has to end right there because one of those teams has to lose.
I guess I'm just laughing because this is like such a far departure from like the last almost 2 decades. Normally, for years it's been maybe the Kings can spoil it for,
which leads me to believe why. So okay, so the Kings can clinch if the Pelicans win tonight, but once that's out, maybe I'm wrong on that because I feel like the NBA would just release something saying the Sacramento Kings have clinched the playoff spot because someone in this Phoenix Minnesota match is going to lose.
Yeah,
like there's no other outcome besides one of those teams losing.
We're not going to have a tie.
Yeah, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the Timberwolves aren't involved in this.
I don't think Minnesota is.
Maybe Minnesota's not involved in this. You know why they're not?
Because they have the tiebreaker.
Oh,
they got the tiebreaker against the Kings.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it's just the Clippers and the Suns.
Yeah, you need two losses
and not one. Okay,
Minnesota.
Well, maybe this thing can drag out till Sunday. There's
who knows? I mean, like I said, I got that bottle of wine was 4 years old. I think I said I wouldn't drink it till the Kings were in the playoffs.
And I had to wait another day. You might get to open it tonight.
What I'm thinking is I may save it for the actual playoff game. I don't know yet. I haven't decided. Do I drink it because they made it, or do I drink it and say I'm going to sip this wine while I watch the Kings in a playoff game? Something I haven't done since I had hair.
I just want this to be over with. Just clinch the two. Pelican. Let's go Pelicans.
Keisha Cole
listening to Master P the whole way home.
Man, who the Pelicans got?
The Warriors.
Oh, see, let me see. Who do my friends in LA want to win though? That's what all that really matters. No, I need the Warriors.
Yeah, you probably want the Warriors to win.
I need the Warriors to win. Yeah, I need 7 through 10 to beat jump. Yeah, I need the Warriors. Yeah. Let me go find my what's it called? Dub Nation. What are they called or whatever?
Our Dubs. Dub Nation.
I gotta roll my boy Draymond. Yeah, my boy Draymond.
Go get your Draymond jersey. Get your Draymond domino.
Get my Draymond. Yeah, tell him don't throw that pass that he threw on Sunday. My God,
man, this all could have been avoided. This all could have been avoided.
Somehow they find a way to blame Draymond for all of this.
All could have been avoided.
It wasn't even tied. They were winning. Just throw the ball away.
And Karl Anthony Towns took the worst looking three in the history of history.
It was like one of them. It was one of those. What are you doing? Oh, it went in.
Yep. That's exactly what it was. Man, have fun this weekend. Awesome. I'm jealous. This is a wrestling fan's dream this weekend, man. So have a blast.
Yeah, that is the plan. To have a good time, and hopefully nothing crazy ends up on social media. Hopefully I don't have one too many and meet a favorite wrestler and say something embarrassing.
Oh, I hope you do. That'll make social media much better if you do that.
It probably would. Yes. Yeah. I do it for the entertainment. Yeah. I probably would. Yeah.
The Professor. We appreciate you, Jay. Thanks, man.
All right. Take care, y'all.